All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Marakakwadash, double honors to the apostles, the elders, great millstone, and salutes on to you brothers out there preaching his word, serving truth. All right, coming to you another video. I'm going to go straight to the scriptures. You can see this video. It's called Animation Shows the Deadly Evolution of Nuclear Weapons. Okay. And I'm going to jump right to the scriptures because these nuclear weapons are prophecy. All right. The Lord put it in the minds of men, or minds of Edomite men, okay, to come up with this creation of nuclear weapons. All right. And because the Lord is going to use these nuclear weapons to destroy Great Babylon, all right, which is America. Okay. Isaiah 54:16, behold, I have created the smith. Okay, the modern day smith is the scientist that bloweth the coals and the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work. And I have created the waster to destroy. And what is that talking about? The bomb, the nuclear bomb, nuclear missiles. Okay, that's the waster to destroy. Okay, so the Lord created, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai created the nuclear missile. All right, via put in the minds of the so-called white man, which is Esau, Edom, according to the Bible. All right, and Esau was given the blessing of the sword from Isaac. Okay, so that's what the nuclear missile is, the sword. All right, the projectile. Okay. Deuteronomy. What's that? 42:31. No, it's like I think it's 32:41. I had it backwards. You know what I mean? 32:41. Okay. And after I read this, I'm gonna play this video so you can see how the scriptures is being fulfilled. Okay. Deuteronomy 32:41. If I whet my glittering sword, which is the missile. Okay. I'm gonna look up this word whet real quick. To sharpen, whet. Okay, when you sharpen a knife, you make it more deadlier. All right, you make it more deadlier. Like if you go out to war with a rusty ass knife, you're not gonna, you're not gonna really put in no work of killing. You know, you can break that knife. All right, that rusty knife can't pierce through the skin like a real sharp knife. All right, and that's basically when you sharpen the knife, you basically make it more deadlier. You're evolutionizing the knife, as you could say. You know, you're making it more deadlier. Okay, and there's different kinds of metals. All right, there's lower grade metals and there's higher grade metals that you use for sharpening, making weapons. You know, the old ancient way of using not daggers. All right, swords. All right, it's different materials that do, different materials, different metals. You know, so basically, when the Lord says He's sharpening, He's whetting His glittering sword, that means He's making the missiles more deadlier. Okay, more powerful. Okay. If I whet my glittering sword, and mine hand take hold on judgment, I will render vengeance to mine enemies. Who's the Lord's enemies? the other nations. All right. Also, 2/3 of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, you're enemies of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Okay. And will reward them that hate me. And I was going to reward you by the nuclear missiles. Okay. I will make mine arrows. Okay, that's another clue about the missiles. Because when you look up the word missiles, you can see in the definitions. Well, if you look up the word arrow, you'll see a missile in one of the definitions. Okay. I will make my arrows drunk with blood, and my sword shall devour flesh. Okay. You can pursue to that devouring flesh in Zechariah 14:12, right? And that the blood of the slain of the captives from the beginning of the revengeance upon the enemy. Okay. So the Lord created these missiles for his enemies. All right. And the elect of Israel, the hopeful elect, supposed to be rejoicing, man, that the Lord's creating these missiles to destroy the wicked, man. All right. So let me read this verse again. If I whet my glittering sword to make it more make it more deadlier, the evolution, you know, of the missiles, and my hand take hold on judgment, I will render vengeance to my enemies and reward them that hate me. Okay. And how do you hate the Lord? By transgressing his laws, statutes, and commandments. Also, to you other nations, you hate the Lord by furthering an affliction of the Israelites, okay, which is the Lord's people, okay. So let me play this video. Next, I'm gonna close out. Shalom.
1945, the Nagasaki nuclear explosion. August 6, 1945, the Hiroshima nuclear explosion. Since these World War II attacks, nuclear weapons have become even more powerful. The Hiroshima bomb produced an explosion of 15 kilotons. 1 kiloton equals the explosive power of 1,000 tons of TNT. If it was detonated in New York City's Times Square, this is what it would look like. The radius of the affected area would be almost a mile long. This yellow circle indicates the radius of the explosion's fireball. Within the red circle, fatalities are near 100%, and all concrete structures are damaged or demolished. Within the gray circle, most residential structures are destroyed, and there are massive injuries and fatalities. The orange circle indicates the area in which third-degree radiation burns occur. But the sheer destructive power of that explosion pales in comparison to the largest thermonuclear weapon currently in the United States arsenal, the B-83. Created in the late 1970s, the B-83 can produce an explosion of up to 1,200 kilotons, which is 80 times the Hiroshima explosion. That's the explosive power of 1.2 million tons of TNT. If dropped on New York City, the radius of the affected area would be over 7 miles. Then, there's the 1954 Operation Castle Bravo, the largest nuclear bomb ever tested by the United States. It produced a 15,000 kiloton explosion, which is over 1,000 times more powerful than the Hiroshima bomb. If detonated in New York City, the radius of the affected area would be over 21 miles. But there's even one more powerful than that. On October 30th, 1961, the Soviet Union tested the Tsar Bomba. It is the most powerful weapon ever detonated. It produced a 50,000 kiloton explosion. That's 3,300 times more powerful than the Hiroshima bomb. The mushroom cloud was so tall that it dwarfed anything on Earth. If dropped on New York City, the radius of the affected area would be over 31 miles. The Tsar Bomba was created over 5 decades ago. Today, there are an estimated 14,900 nuclear weapons in the world. If not for the Partial Nuclear Test Ban Treaty of 1963, we might have even more powerful bombs today.